After a flight from Japan landed smoothly at a Korean international airport, the initially tense atmosphere slowly melted away. Jungkook and Taehyung, two names who have always been at the center of global public attention, were seen exiting the arrivals area at a leisurely pace, far from feeling rushed. No exaggerated gestures, no dramatic expressions, just a real sense of calm. A little later, news circulated among fans that the two chose to stop at a simple but warm restaurant located not far from the airport. That decision, while seemingly mundane, actually sparked a huge curiosity. What happened after that long journey? And why did this little moment feel so meaningful? The restaurant they came to is known as a favorite stopover for airport workers and local travelers. Unobtrusive, non-exclusive, yet cozy. Soft lighting, the smell of home-cooked food, and a calm atmosphere create a safe space from the hustle and bustle of camera highlights. Jungkook and Taehyung sat side by side, choosing a table in the corner as if they wanted to enjoy some uninterrupted time. The few visitors who are aware of their presence are restrained, respecting privacy with a brief look and a small smile. There were no shouts, no crowds, only a sense of suppressed amazement from a distance. Their gestures speak louder than words. Jungkook seemed relaxed, occasionally laughing softly as he leaned in, listening attentively to Taehyung. Taehyung himself looked calm and warm, his eyes implying relief after a tiring journey. They share a simple meal, a meal that may never be listed on a fancy restaurant list, but that's exactly what makes this moment feel human. Between the mouthfuls, there was small talk, there was small laughter, there were comfortable silent pauses. It's all natural, without the script. For fans, these pieces of information spread quickly, not because of the sensation, but because of the honesty of the emotions that radiate. Many judge this moment as symbolic. After a hectic schedule, endless highlights, and cross-country trips, Jungkook and Taehyung opted for simplicity. They do not pursue luxury. They pursue tranquility, and therein lies its beauty. In a world that continues to demand perfect looks, both show that even quiet togetherness has an invaluable value. Several witnesses describe how Jungkook smiled and nodded to the restaurant staff as a sign of gratitude, a small gesture that left a deep impression. Taehyung is seen enjoying the atmosphere, occasionally glancing out the window, perhaps observing the Korean sky getting dark. There's no sign of fatigue that is forced to hide. Rather, there's a sense of relief that is shared silently. This moment was not recorded in a live broadcast. It was not announced through an official statement, but its resonance was felt widely on social media. Fan response has been mixed, but one common thread holds it all together: gratitude. Thank God for seeing their idols safe, healthy, and happy. Thank you for seeing the human side that is rarely highlighted. Many write that it was this kind of moment that made them fall in love in the first place. Not just a grandiose stage and global achievements, but sincere and calm togetherness. Some interpret the little laugh as a sign of unfading familiarity. Others see it as a much-needed respite. Interestingly, this calmness contrasts precisely with the expectations of the public, who often imagine a return full of hustle and bustle. But Jungkook and Taehyung seem to have chosen another path, a quieter, more personal one. In the simplicity of a restaurant near the airport, they found room to breathe. And that's where this story becomes more than just a brief tidbit. It turns into a portrait of how two global figures keep themselves in balance amid a world that never stops staring. When they finally got up from the table, the atmosphere remained calm. No farewell drama, just a slow step towards the exit. Some visitors lowered their heads politely. Some smiled a little. Jungkook and Taehyung reply with short gestures enough to convey gratitude without attracting attention. Outside, the Korean night air greeted with a gentle chill, closing the long journey from Japan with an unspoken feeling of warmth. The news of their stopover at the restaurant may seem simple on the surface, but for many, it holds a deeper meaning. He reminded that behind the busy schedule and global spotlight, there are two friends who choose to enjoy time together, without the need for any proof. And precisely because of this moment feels so strong, quiet, honest, and touching. The silence after they left the restaurant was precisely the most memorable part of this story. No deliberately exhibited photos, no dramatically uploaded long footage. But it is precisely from the absence of sensations that the meaning of this moment grows slowly. Jungkook and Taehyung returned to the vehicle at a leisurely pace, as if to close the day with complete simplicity. For some, this may be just a short stopover after the flight. But for fans who follow every detail of their journey, this is a rare slice of life. Honest, and what it is that in the fast-paced world of Korean entertainment, it's rare to see a figure as big as them choose such an ordinary space. But that choice feels consistent with the image they've been building, not separated from reality, not stuck in a status symbol. At the table of a small restaurant near the airport, Jungkook and Taehyung are not becoming global icons. They are just two tired people after a long journey, looking for the warmth of food and togetherness. It was precisely there that the public saw their strength, the ability to stay grounded amid the peak of popularity. A few hours after the news spread, fan discussion evolved into a more reflective direction. Many write about how calm the aura of both has become lately, as if cross-country trips are no longer a burden, but part of the rhythm of life that they received with adulthood. Jungkook, who was once known to be full of energy, now looks more mature, calmer in his gestures. Taehyung, with his trademark shade, appears to be a natural counterweight. Their brief interaction at the restaurant seems to confirm something fans have long felt, a relationship that doesn't need to be announced to be felt. Others highlight their choice of time. Not to go home right away, not to rush to disappear from the radar, as if they want to give themselves a break before returning to a hectic routine. The pause, though brief, felt important. Amid the pressure of public expectations, moments like these become a silent form of self-care. And without realizing it, the public came to learn that rest is not a weakness, but a necessity. This story then developed not as gossip, but as a narrative of sobriety. No excessive speculation, no forced drama. There's only a tacit recognition that seeing an idol happy in simplicity gives a sense of security in itself. Many fans admitted that they smiled reading this news, not because of the sensation, but because they felt close, as if the distance between the grandiose stage and real life for a moment disappeared. By evening, the airport returned to its usual rhythm. Planes came and went, the lights of the runway lit up brightly, and the small restaurant again became a stopping place for travelers. But for those who knew what happened a few hours earlier, the place now holds a warm little story. A story about two big names who choose tranquility, about quiet laughter in the corner of the room, about togetherness that does not need a spotlight. In the end, this news survived not because of its magnitude, but because of its sincerity. Jungkook and Taehyung didn't have to do anything to create a historic moment. Just being themselves meant something. A reminder that behind the stage lights and cheers, there's a life that goes on modestly. And perhaps it is precisely in these moments of silence that the most real closeness is born, calm, warm, and will be remembered for a long time by those who watched it from a distance.